started and joins after, I welcome them as well. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson. Thank you guys for being here. And remember that you are all perfect exactly where you are in this now moment. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. And I love you all very much. Remember that. And we're going to walk in tonight because there is a very simple answer to what is really happening. Is really just a matter of an awakening. And we don't like the word, we're like awakening. Well, we've been asleep for a lot of freaking time, right? Like a long freaking time that we've been asleep. And it's a matter of awakening your power to change your thoughts. And I think it's just been a lot of wishy-washy, hogwash. Oh, is it positive thinking? And you all know me, I'm not interested in motivating you or being positive. Not that I don't see the positive slant to everything I do, but what it is actually mastery, right? We are learning to master our thoughts. And so most people are like, well, it seems that it can't be that simple. But if you're deeply attached to things, it's going to be challenging. And attachment means that we can't let go of the way things are. I mean, things like in physicality, physical things. So let's talk about using Tesla. And I'm referring to Nikola Tesla. So if you're like, not Elon, who is in the news lately. So I'm not meaning Elon, I mean Nikola Tesla. Who is well known and documented with his work regarding his 369 theory, the numbers of 369 and what they mean. And so I want to explain how the theory of the numbers of 369, because I really think it's important to all of you that you blend science and spirit, right? So that you can understand how to keep the two intact and understand that it's not some woo-woo shit, fluffing around happening to you. And it's not some spiritual awakening. It's an energetic frequency of awakening, but you're in control. And most people feel like they're not in control, like they don't have control of what's happening in the external world right now. So this is the best way I wanted to be able to share with you so you can visually see. I'm going to pull a picture up for you guys in a minute here. So how is the Tesla 369 numbering the master key to mind mastery? That's what I want you guys to understand, okay? And so I want you, I'm going to pull you guys. I'm going to share my screen with you here for a second. Let me share this with you. All right, and you should be able to see this on the screen. I'll leave it up for a little bit, okay? But what you're looking at here are frequency layers, okay? These are the layers of frequency and energetically, but visually y'all want to see it as a physical thing. So I'm going to show it to you energetically in numbers, right? And so when you look at Tesla believed that everything was in the quantum quantity numbers. The numbers would add up to 3, 6, and 9, right? And so when you look at 3, 6, and 9, I'm going to break this down for you. 3 matches the 3D world, the physical world. 6 matches the 4D world, the bridge to the higher realms. And 9 is the 5D world, the higher realms, the astral and the higher realms and above, okay? Then you go to the 3D world, it's an illusion because what you think is one day isn't the next day. And it's a constant illusion trap of like, but the money's gonna make me happy, but a lover's gonna make me happy, but a car, but a thing, or a new shirt or a new, of course, shoes make everyone happy, you all know that. But the joke is that the illusion of things, your physical body, and we're going to talk on this a little bit more, but I just want to get you guys to understand the frequency of layers. I'll load this picture, by the way, into the IDI, the Truth Tribe dashboard, as well as the IDI in the IDI club on the Truth Tribe wall, so you guys can download it and save it. So it makes sense to you, right? So we go from 369, the master key numbers, right, to the 3rd dimension, 4th dimension, 5th dimension, body, mind, soul, things, thoughts, and truth. Okay, illusion, the bridge, and the higher astral dimensions, right? And so my question is when you're looking at this picture, if you look at the middle here at the 4th dimension, the bridge, the mind, the thoughts, okay, that's 6. And 6 vibrationally represents financial, money, the thoughts about money. Okay. So it's fascinating. We're working on that right now. So I want you guys to think about yourselves when you're looking at these astral layers. Are you stuck on the bridge in this middle? Because I know they're not layers this way. I'm just giving you a direction of time and space. Of 3D is physical, anything you can touch. 4D is the bridge, this portal back and forth. And the 5D are these higher realms, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, where there is no physicality, but it's a frequency, right? But they're all frequencies. So don't misjudge one for the other, that you can't frequency yourself back and forth. So when you look at the 6, the 4D, the bridge, the mind and thoughts, are you allowing your mind to limit your expansion with shackles of who you've been in your past or any lifetime in the 3D realm, which is an illusion? You are no longer that. Yes, in past lives, you were many things, but we're creating this illusion in a cycle, in a circle, in a repetition that's getting us all in trouble. Okay. And so are you allowing your mind in this center, basically pillar of vibration? Are you allowing it to limit your expansion, right? Are you bossing your ego or your mind around, right? Which bossing your ego, it requires eagerness. You got to be eager to enter into expansion, which is the 5D astro, and eradicate the fear in you, that lack programming that you no longer will allow yourself to vibrate at. It is an awakening. You have to wake up, because your mind has to go, holy cow, I keep pulling back, So now this is all simply due to you using your eyes, the physical, okay, to talk to your mind, and it's causing you challenges because your senses are being turned on all through this awakening, right? Your senses have been turned on, and now you're beginning to feel that the illusion that you trusted with your eyes is not jiving anymore. Does that make sense? Okay, and so what happens when we start paying attention to this next level of higher thinking and higher realm? It starts changing the game, because you become the light. If you cut corners from this point forward, and you cut corners now in today's energy, your spirit will know. Your higher realm, your higher self will know, right? What happened in the last week, I shared with you last week, just on Monday, okay? Saturn moved into Pisces. You had a full moon on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, Saturn moved into Pisces. And I'm going to share more details in the planetary update, but this created a next level of awakening in ways that not so many are happy experiencing right now with this. So I'm going to touch on the little money thing, but I am telling you, if there was ever a time in your life, this is it. Not to beat on, right? Because I'm like, I always share, I'm that rule breaker. I don't want to do it like everyone else. I know something doesn't feel right, using my senses, right? So not to be me in a sense, but to adopt that not accepting of non-truths of the external, right? Use that strength that I'm pushing you into for a while to choose your truths, right? And to choose to say no more of this bullshit that's keeping me in a loop, right? A loop of repetition of habit. And it's the infinite repeating unwanted, or the infinite that is growing. So if you think of the infinite like this, right? Here's your infinite, and it's twisted in the center. But if you open it up and you keep the infinite, it turns into a circle. So you can turn the circle, or you can open up the circle, and you're continually moving in this circle. Now, the infinite can also take a circle of growth. The difference is a closed loop or a spiral upgrade. You are going to come back around and visit it with just less potency. And so when you can choose new beliefs, your thoughts, you must master your mind and tell it how you're going to proceed in your head, in here. So you have to be prepared to talk about it. And so people's stuff is coming up right now. And they're like, I don't want to talk about it. No, I don't think that's what it is. And it's going to come up, my friends. It's not a negotiation. Whatever you are weak in, what you've grown up in, whatever programming you've been given. And again, I don't play the whole blame the mom and dad, the parents, the grandparents bullshit game. They didn't know any better. They didn't have the tools we have now. We can send someone information in 10 seconds, 1 second. So it is time for you to prepare to talk to yourself. Okay? Will you feel alone when you're asking yourself these questions, like about truth and your thoughts, and like, am I giving in to old repetition and going back to shit that I keep doing and repeating and not wanting? Are you going to feel alone? You're going to feel hurt? You're going to feel belittled sometimes when you're choosing to upgrade from the shit show chaos? Absolutely. Because a lot of people aren't on these calls. A lot of people aren't doing this type of work. So they aren't upgrading. Okay. So absolutely, you're going to feel uncomfortable. But unless you decide in these quiet times, when you get alone and you get quiet, you start asking yourself, do I really want to think that? Right? You get into what your soul needs. You won't get lost in that victim-lacked mind mentality, in the external illusion. That's the 3D. It's all an illusion that's been created by the mind. You're not going to get lost in the illusion that's needed to keep you imprisoned in a Piscean self-sacrificing life. We have a couple of years left. So we're doing the weave of pulling away that Piscean age. We're moving into the Aquarian age. We're in the generation now, but we're kind of pulling away. And the Piscean age is the Christian, the Christ era, self-sacrifice. It's not going to happen anymore. Doesn't mean you're not acting Christ-like and loving and kind. I'm saying the self-sacrificing aspect of it has to be paid attention to. And it's so a lot of people I'm watching, you guys are having a hard time with this. I want you to ask yourself this question. Are you present enough to be aware of how often you are being told what to think? Honestly, not, oh my God, they said this and they did this and they fell apart and I fell apart and they're arguing and I don't like them and I like them. And I don't know, are they true or are they not true? Is this true or is that true? Oh my gosh, my boss doesn't like me. Oh, my boss does like me. Oh, I don't think they're being honest. I think they're not being honest. Like, oh my gosh, right? Holy cow. So I want you to ask yourself this question. Are you being present enough right now to be aware? Are you being present enough to be aware of how often you are being told what to think? Are you able to ask everything my eyes see? I'm going to ask this question. And I'm asking you guys, not just from the digital wizards that I call, like the digital world, right? TV wizards, computer wizards, all the people behind the wizard, cape and the wizard, window. No, not just the digital wizards, but from business meetings. Are you able to be aware of how you're being told you're not good enough, you're not talented enough, you're not driven enough, you're not successful enough, you're not enough? Okay, so from business meeting wizards, from family discussions, from friends, from your kids. I hear kids trashing parents all the time. I'm like, and you're really going to sit there and listen to this? Right? Is this really how I want to live? You got to ask yourself this. Who are you allowing to influence your thoughts? So this is these 3 pillars. This is the 3 frequencies, 3, 6, and 9. Who are you allowing to influence your mind? Manifesting a masterful life, my friends, will require you to stay in manifestation mode at all times. Meaning you have to be flexible with flow, like you got to flow like water, like we talked about last call, right? It's got to be flowing like water option instead of the one and done deal. Like, I made a choice, this is it, so I'm sticking with it, and I'm not going to do it, repeating over and over and over and over in a circle instead of a spiral, right? Going up. Doesn't mean you're not going to go revisit stuff and go, oh, no, I don't want that anymore. I remember that one. But instead we go back and remember it and revisit it and hang with it. And then we do it again. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. So Until you break through the mental body, you cannot heal the emotional body, which is actually the captain of your ship, and the boss of your reality is your spiritual higher self. It's the game player. Okay. It is time for all of us to acknowledge the thoughts that you are allowing as boulders in that 4D on the bridge, right? We're allowing thoughts as boulders in the way of the message that your spirit over here or is trying to repeat and engage and allow. So this boulder is repeating all this stuff out here on the other end. It can't get past. So it's allowing experiences and people and, whatever to determine for you who you are. And the moment you pay attention and you get in this now moment, and you reevaluate how deeply personal you have made others' views or evaluations of you to own you, when you really get present with that, what happens? You get to redesign it. Okay? This is what is happening right now. I mean, at this very moment in time on the planet, we are shifting into a different reality, not into a different world. Your physical body is not going anywhere. This 3D, 4D, 5D are just frequencies of energy where you live, okay? Where you reside, where you focus, where your reality sits. Your physical body's not going anywhere. So your mental body, if it releases all the boulders and blockages, allowing your spiritual body to take place and take charge and to take you places you've just never allowed yourself to see before. Right? Like the simple option that I shared with you guys last week of just charging your water with love water. I love you. Thank you for loving me. I love you. Thank you for loving me. I love you for that's it. Right? Like that's how basic this gets. The heart is neutral and God's source energy is pure love that the mind wants to play God, remember? And it's derived from ego that wants to be right. So it's going to determine your fate if you allow it to keep those boulders. All right, so how attached to the 3D frequency pillar are you? Let's go back to the Tesla frequencies and the numbers I just shared with you. I want you to think of it like this with the 3 numbers, okay? And 9 at the top, 3 and the 6, okay? I want you to think of it this way. The Tesla frequencies are numbers, right? And so 3 times anything is either 3, 6, or 9, no matter what. 3 times 3, 9. 2 times 3, 6. 3 times 4 is 12, and 2 plus 1 is 3. It always deducts down to one of these 3 numbers. Okay, these 6s and 9s focused on thoughts and truth. So the truth is that we have to pay attention to our thoughts in order to get back down to the 3s. Okay, 6 times anything is the bridge. There's the bridge, the center pillar. Okay. That's the bridge of the physical illusion to the physical illusion. So here's the 6, and over here is the 9, and over here is the 3. And the 9 cannot push its energy and its manifestation of spirituality and the spiritual truths pass through and create a physical reality that you want of love and abundance and financial freedom. It's got these blocks. It's in your mind. 9 times 9 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 times anything is 9. It all comes back to 9. 3 or a 6 or a 9. And the 6 is what you determine what your illusion in the 3D world will look like. 9 times 9 is 81. So someone just showed, sorry, 81. I was doing 2 times 9. 9 times 9 is 81, and 8 plus 1 is still 9. So thank you for that. That's awesome. I'm so glad you shared that. I can add, I can multiply. In my head, I was doing 2 times 9. So 18 or 9 times 9 is 81. Either one, think about it this way. 8 plus 1, 1 plus 8 is still 9. And I love that because I need you guys to see all this is frequency, right? So thank you, by the way, for helping me with my math, since I'm trying to do it quickly in my head. Okay. So when your mind is clear, you will see clarity direct from your soul's truth into the physical reality. Okay. And I want you guys to make sure you're remembering that, because it can get us into a little bit of trouble, right? If you're not paying attention to some of this and you're not understanding this. And so if you think about this 3, 6, 9, it's going to change the game. Okay, it's going to show you a different way to look at it. So if you guys want me to pull up that the visual and the picture again, I just want you guys to see this because I don't want you to miss the visual of what this is. Okay, and so this is what it looks like: 3D, 4D, 5D. The third dimension is the 3 in frequency. The fourth dimension is 6 in frequency, and the fifth dimension is 9 in frequency of all the astral planes or above. Okay, so when your mind in the middle, the bridge to the 2 realms, is clear of your mind, of its thoughts, you're going to see the clarity from this truth going down into your physical reality so smoothly, like water. Okay, and if there's mental boulders, imagine that they're sitting on the bridge in the middle here. Okay, and let's just imagine it's tipped on its side. If there's mental boulders, you guessed it, the 3D will cycle over here, and you're never going to get out of this bullshit shit show. It's asking you to take inventory of your thoughts in the 4D, right? Or our thoughts or our mind, or just control what we think every day, because the 6th frequency wants to control and break open and expand and create manifestation at layers, at levels that you can't even comprehend. So do you think it's a coincidence that we're talking about money right now on the planet? Right? Don't you find that? I love it when the planets and the energy and the universe all get connected, intertwined, and go, look, we're just mirroring everything. So when I tell you it's a hologram, I'm not kidding. It's not just a hologram. So it's not a coincidence we're discussing money and banks right now, because we're talking about our thoughts about the illusion of money and things and banking and things that we've created as physical thought into physical thing. Okay, so what are your thoughts that are coming up right now about your value? How do you want to manifest from your soul onto the earth plane? Remove your thoughts about paper money and take back your power. Okay, how do you do this? You make a plan. What do you want, and what are your options to get what you want? And if your thoughts were thinking black and white, like victim mentality, like, oh, if I want that, I have to do this, and you're already thinking linear, instead of just removing what's blocking you from what you're already accessed. We all have this power. Your spine is the connector. That is the bridge. And the higher realm is right through your crown chakra, and the lower realm is touching your feet onto the earth. So it's really a big deal. If your thoughts aren't thinking, if they're thinking black and white, yes, it's going to block somewhere in your body without giving you creation. So we need to plan it on paper, like a spider web, not in a line. Put it in a circle, put what you want in the middle, and start putting all these connectors out from that center. Make a spiral like it's going up and expanding. Wherever you go, there's always another option up. Okay, like a circle staircase, one step at a time. You're going to keep revolving around it. So as we discussed, you guys might be feeling these intense like symptoms going on lately, because you're moving up and you didn't even realize it. And the pains that are associated with the boulder on your bridge are showing up. They wanting you to release. Okay, that's all that's happening. So every time you move up, the boulders are in the way, and you're like, oh, I can't step over this step to get up again and go around and around. Okay, so if you again are feeling, these are my big ones, right? Exhaustion. I mean, I don't know who's not feeling it, but exhaustion, some of the dizziness is coming back, the head pressure. I had a migraine for 3 days straight. It was terrible. Yep, stomach and nausea, hot and cold flashes, muscle aches, purging of trauma, emotional and physical, emotional heaviness when you're just feeling weighted about everything, chest heaviness. I've been having a ton of that, really tight chest. I'm not sick. I can feel it. Root chakra pressure, which is your base of your sacrum, your sacral perspective. Okay, so the root chakra, or pain or pressure, the root is associated with the 3D body foundation and financial. Okay, so ways to ease these symptoms, again, water, 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 daily baths with Epsom salt, magnesium. There's magnesium in the Epsom salt. Showers and intentionally putting love or pink liquid hearts in all liquids. Sleep and rest as much as possible, drink as much water as possible, and charge it with your intention of love. I want to remind you guys that healing is not just about physical wellness. It's about becoming aware of the patterns in your life, in our lives, that created our imbalances, this life or any other life. Okay. And that's the cycle I'm telling you about, is if you keep repeating on this infinity loop. I love infinity. Infinity is abundance, but the problem is when you get stuck on it, you don't know, you're just going back and forth and you're not completing it. When you complete a loop, that's the next rung of the staircase. Complete a loop and you step up again. But if you don't complete it, that's the infinite loop of incompletion, which is karma. Why does this seem weird that a simple love water or a bath or an Epsom salt or a shower could cleanse you of these physical symptoms? I want you to think about this like you're like really watered on. People are doing this a lot. Like it can't be, this craziness in the world can't be that simple. I want to ask you guys a question that may answer that question. Okay. I want you to ask yourself, am I sure? I want you to ask, are you sure that you have organs in your body, tendons, muscles, or are you creating the illusion of these types of organs, tendons, muscles, and bones from your generations of family programming? Right? Your mind must be on call every second of every day, calling bullshit to your physical pain, to your body pain, to your aches, to your relationship conflicts, to your career conflicts, to your geographical conflicts. They're all an illusion that you are creating for your physical reality. And it is the boulder that's sitting on your bridge. And the simplest answer is call bullshit on it. That's it. It's like you're speaking to your shadow beast ego, right? That's what I want you guys to understand. How do you know you have tendons and muscles? How do you know you have organs? Oh, my back is sore. Oh, my kidneys are sore. Oh, my head is sore. Oh, my brain hurts. Well, someone told me, a doctor told me, we did an autopsy, but did we create that illusion of it? Or are we just creating illusions of physical things to live in? But what's not really real, it's just an illusion of reality. So we can create the illusion of a painful body, or we can create the illusion of a super healthy body. But we are feeling like we are at the mercy of this external shit show of chaos, and it's not true. But we have to take back this one thing, the boulder on your bridge. Okay, so I want to remind you, it's very much like speaking. If you've done work with me, you know what this means. Okay, it's like speaking to your shadow beast, right? Or your ego. I see you, back pain, weight gain, headache, sadness, arguing, conflicts, whatever it is, say it to yourself in your head right now. Okay. Repeat this. This will be your new little mantra. All right. I see you, whatever, we'll call it back pain. I call bullshit. You repeat after me in your head out loud. I see you, whatever it is. I call bullshit. You are only an illusion in my mind. You are no longer valid or accepted in my reality, physically or spiritually. I choose health, wealth, and abundance, and travel easily and effortlessly to 3D, 4D, 5D, and above. This is my truth. Okay, I knew you guys were going to ask me this. We'll do it one more time, okay? Okay. Remember, pick something that's pissing you off in the physical realm, in the 3D realm. Okay, your body, your pain, your physical thing. Someone said back pain. Someone could have said, I'll go with mine. It's over, so I don't want to go there again. But headache. There's a little bit of like career and emotional conflict I've heard from several people. So say the thing that you don't want and repeat after me. I see you, headache, back pain, conflict of career. Okay, I see you. I call bullshit. You are only an illusion in my mind. You are no longer valid or accepted in my reality, physically or spiritually. I choose health, wealth, and abundance, and to travel easily and effortlessly from 3D, 4D, 5D, and above. This is my truth. Okay? Okay. It's so simple and so clean. Okay. I want you all to know that. Now, all of you who have either been private coaching or in the Warrior Pass, all of you know that I literally will upload that picture for you all, as well as in the IDI Club. If you're not in the IDI Club, it's just because you're being lazy, because I know you all, I can see you all. So get in there, because that's where it'll be on the wall. But by the way, I'm going to bring up that later. I'm going to go into a deeper planetary update because there is so much happening right now to help you validate what's going on in the real world that you are all visually watching and going, oh my God, the sky's falling. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so planetary update to validate this dimension of time and space. And so now you can see it in physicality, and now I showed it to you in frequency. Okay. All right, so all right, my friends, this is what we're going to start with, the first thing, because it's one of the biggest doozies that's causing a lot of this. Okay. What you're all feeling right now, one of the biggest ones you're feeling is Jupiter and Chiron are conjunct. So remember, when we do the planets, they're going around, they're orbiting. You have two planets basically sitting on top of each other, and one of them is not a planet. One of them is Chiron. So Jupiter, right, is sitting at 14 degrees on top of Aries. Okay. Of Chiron sitting in the sign of Aries. Okay. And Aries is a very masculine sign. It's represented by Mars, and it's a planet and sign of war and aggression and assertion and drive. Okay. Jupiter is a very feminine planet. She's like the cosmic expander. And so think the Midas touch energy. Wherever Jupiter touches, it expands and it grows. Okay. And so this is normally a positive abundance and joy and blessings and new experiences for Jupiter. When Jupiter shows up, we're like, yay, bring Jupiter, okay? However, Jupiter expands everything it touches, so even the unwanted. All right. Chiron is the wounded healer, and it's sitting in Aries, which is aggression and warlike energy. You see the aggression starting to come out? Jupiter is expanding your reality on the planet as well as you personally in many ways and experiences. So you're going to notice eruptions in family, eruptions in friendships, in relationships, in your career, your money, your emotions, and your personal reality may be blowing up, explosions, or feeling out of control energy. And feel free to validate this in the chat if you're on here, because I want you guys to share this with each other so people don't feel like you're losing it. You're not losing it. It's needing to come up. Okay. Chiron is an asteroid, my friends. It's not a planet. Okay. So when we say conjunct, we just mean like they're literally like hugging, okay, sitting on top of each other in a sense. Okay. Chiron, the archetype energy of Chiron is that he became an immortal being. He was immortal, and he gave up his immortality to become a powerful healer and teach others how to heal. Yet he was unable to heal himself. So he's the wounded healer, thus being called this wounded healer. The story explains why Chiron is to teach us a lesson that we can show others and assist them in healing. However, it's also very important, if we cannot heal ourselves, then none of this freaking matters, which is why I keep getting on to all of you. We've left the era of self-sacrifice, and we are moving into Jupiter expanding you into self-healing. Okay, so the idea of self-sacrificing oneself for the greater good is all part of this Chiron story that weaves kind of insight into this global consciousness. So throughout reality, the reality of our time that we've been in, right? We've been in that Christ consciousness for so long, which was to give up of yourself for others. Selflessness, right? Now this has now created chaos, because now we're in a chaos of not knowing ourselves. Thus where Dawn comes in, where I'm pushing the hot spots. I'm pushing you to get to know yourself. I'm pushing you to know your power and your weaknesses. And Chiron, if you don't know where your chart is, go download a free birth chart on my website under tools, under the main page. Go to tools, go to free birth chart, download it and see where Chiron sits in your chart. If you know your chart, go look for your own Chiron, not this Chiron I'm talking about, but your own Chiron, okay? Because Chiron is where we have to start looking at where our selfless service to others, there are two sides. Yes, you want to help others. I'm not saying be a jerk, but Jupiter can expand the wounds of the collective. And so what happened is when we were giving up of ourselves, we were becoming wounded as a collective entire planet. So that collective wound needs to be healed right now. And they got too infected. Think of it that way. They were too big. They became so obvious, and now we must heal them, which is what we're doing. Okay. So we must take responsibility for our own personal healing as well. This is not let me go out and help everybody and self-sacrifice myself. And everyone wants to, because you're used to it. You're used to this circle. You're used to this infinite loop, and you never complete it and move up. That's what's happening, okay? So both aspects are important to help others, yet we must help ourselves first, then assist when our cups fill over, okay? Now, because it's in Aries, okay? Chiron sits in Aries, and Aries has a temper. What it is healing in our reaction, that's what it's healing. It's healing our reaction to others. It's healing our independence from others. No longer playing the game of the victim, the blame, the helpless, the hopelessness. We're not playing that anymore, because Aries is being expanded by Jupiter, the planet of expansion that's sitting on it right now. And it may fall into these themes that are being brought up to light for everyone in the world, including blowing up the financial. Ta-da! Self-accountability. They weren't being accountable. Dissolving of self-importance. Right? Dissolving reactions like, oh my God, it'll just dissolve that. Impulsivity, aggression, empowering is going to change versus overpowering through dominance and force. That's what's changing. Okay. So it's time that we're going to start taking leaps of faith through spirit and truth over here, this 9 pillar, rather than succumbing to the weaknesses, following the path of your heart and your soul, and not this 3D thing stuff, avoiding listening to others' opinions or the herd mentality, right? Taking action rather than procrastinating and blaming. Okay, that's a big deal. And that's what you're all feeling right now. And that's what blew up this bank thing. Okay, then we have Saturn in Pisces that I talked to you guys on Monday. The full moon was on Tuesday, and Saturn moved into Pisces on Wednesday. Okay, so a week ago. All right. And so Saturn is the planet of order and power and structure and planning and control, right? Pisces is the wishy-washy, you right, confusion, delusion, but also imprisonment, institutions, drugs, spiritual intuition, past lives, spiritual downloads, creativity. So now imagine the combo together. One wants control and one wants creative flow to move past it. So for the next 3 years, hear me, 3 years, technology, thoughts, and things and emotions are going to be coming up, so you can review, like, look at what you deem as good and good deeds in the name of religion, because that's where it's going to trip it up. Pisces is, okay? Control the hence of programming of many people into this whole, the savior syndrome. I'm going to save you, and you're not saving yourself, which was invented and suggested that you sacrifice your life for others. That's the weak spot I call out on the whole Jesus syndrome. I love Jesus. I love the entire vibrational frequency of Jesus, but we keep looking at ourselves. You are not Jesus. You are not here to die for other people. Does it happen? Yes, but it's time to heal you. So I'm being very firm about this, because people are asking, how is this playing out? This is how. All illusions in the 3D world that were created for you to be sick and suffering for the good of others. Take it for others. Take the poke for others. Now you're finding out it's not good for you. So, which is a total utter nonsense. All because you felt guilty for all the things coming up on your screens that you couldn't see your true power in here. Okay, these are boulders that are sitting on you. Last but not least, and then we're going to go into Q&A. Pluto is going to move into Aquarius in like 5 days. So you're already feeling it. Might as well just be there now. Okay. Destruction of control with technology and dismantling of old darknesses, because Pluto rules the dark. And it is the ruling planet of Aquarius is Uranus. And Uranus is sitting in the sign of Taurus that rules money, sudden change. That's what Aquarius and Uranus rules. So expect the combo of Pluto moving into Aquarius with Uranus in Taurus. Expect this combo to rattle the world of money, the world money, your value, and what you, and it doesn't mean negative. It means it might rattle you to finally know what you're worth, right? And how it's being used and being given back the value of what money used to be, of putting it on paper and putting the value back to humanity. So money at some point is not going to be associated with hierarchy, and it's going to be used more for purpose. Okay, it's an energy field. It will be, the illusion will kind of go away. You are all gifted, my friends, and it is time for you to explore how to express your soul's signature. And why is money getting crashed right now? Because the planets told us so, right? We've been talking about this in the astrology world for years and months, and the last several weeks, like, here it is. We were wondering what was going to happen. That's why. So don't think this is here to hurt you. None of it is. I warned you last week. Do not be fearful. Okay. Everybody right here, tap into your thymus. This is going to be a big deal for you to open up your energy field, because our chests are trying to get tight. Your heart chakra, your solar plexus chakra, all of it. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. All right. Remember last week I told you your challenge is to tell your water one thing you want to manifest this week. Tell how much you love it and appreciate it for all that it does for you, and imagine the miracles running through your body. Anyone do that all week and notice a miracle come into play that you didn't really were expecting and it happened? Okay. So I'm going to ask you that to chat in the chat, as well as who can see by allowing their thoughts to go unattended. You're allowing yourself to walk into rooms that you no longer you no longer belong in out of habit or duty, right? So can you open that door a little bit and see what you're looking at and seeing things from where they should be? The reason I'm asking you this is because, like I said, who charged their water? Anybody notice things that you were trying to create out of the water? Yep. Yeah, I've been charging my water every day. Every time I take a sip, I'm like, I love you. Thank you for loving me, right? And it's bringing really fascinating things. And don't get me wrong, I'm going through the same symptoms all of you are, possibly some of them even worse. But I also am noticing the second I call bullshit on it and I tell it, no, unacceptable, that is not part of this physical form, the illusion that I'm creating anymore, it literally would go away within minutes to an hour. It might want to creep back in, but I'm telling it no. So I've been noticing it quite a bit, just testing me to see if I'm walking up the spiral or I'm staying here in this repetition of conversation of whatever. Okay. All right. So anybody want to pop on? Anybody have any questions? Do you want to join me? If anybody's willing to, I'm willing to have you on like a guest, as a guest, and come on in. You don't have to, but I would love to have anybody on who would like to join. And if not, that's fine too. I'm just suggesting. Yes. Okay. All right. I have one that's ready to rock. All right. So let me join you in, and let's see. Just 1 second. I'm trying to pull off here. There you are. Okay. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Are we allowed to see you, or are you going to stay hidden tonight? It's okay.
Well, I come with no makeup, but my hair's clean. That's about all I can
She has
share.
clean hair. I love it.
As long as that's okay, well, you'll just get the raw version.
We love you anyway. So, what was your question? Did you see any of these things coming up physically, energetically?
Absolutely. This morning at dark 30, next thing you know, I had some kind of a crazy back situation, and I don't have any back problems. So
So a back spasm?
It was a back spasm. I suddenly had tweaked it and found myself crawling over to a piece of equipment to help me crawl my way to standing. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me. I'm excited about going skiing. I'm excited about all the crazy things that are going on. But I realized that I have not stopped to take stock of all the changes, and that maybe I've been taking on more than my body wanted to handle, kind of the weight of the world. And it was funny. I wasn't sure. I kept trying to go at it individually and independently, but through a conversation, actually,
can
and
I
some of
ask
what you
you,
said.
were you focused on just the physical one little spot of your back?
Absolutely.
Or were you able to step back out and go, wait a minute, after the pain kind of, you realized it, did you realize that you were actually a match to you were creating an image because there was some block in your mind? I'm asking about the bridge discussion we just had, right? Do you see that correlation or no?
Absolutely, I do. And I think when you look at things as a whole and stop trying to just chisel them away and analyze them as small details, you look at, put it all together in a pot, and suddenly, you can easily call bullshit without it invalidating how you feel. You can just say, okay, all right, well, this too. And how do we go forward?
I love it. I love it. And so just having the thought pattern of calling BS on it and that is no longer welcome for you, does that just even give you a little bit of peace?
Yes, absolutely. And I didn't understand how some of the physical manifestation would, it messes with you in your mind until you decide you've got to take control of your mind to say, no, I'm not, I'm in charge, not you, body. I'm in charge of you, not you, mind. My heart is. And it did make a big difference. It has made a difference throughout the day.
Awesome. And everybody, I hope you're all listening to this call, because this is what this is like the most perfect, thank you for sharing. This is the most perfect comment you can make on this discussion. Why? Because what I'm trying to share with you is you won't know that you have a block on your bridge in your mind and your belief system until your physical body tells you, because you don't have organs and knees and backs and stomachs and brains in the fifth dimension, in the higher realm. Does that make sense?
100%.
Okay. I'm gonna close you off here real quick. All right. Unless you have any other questions, Jill.
No, I think that's amazing. I think I do actually have a question.
Okay.
If we are kind of drowning ourselves in the details,
okay,
what is a thought that we could use, to corral those details into that one big pot to say, I call bullshit, to step back and say, hold on a second, to kind of.
This is a really good point she's making too, everybody, because what happens is let's ask, like, she's an overthinker, right? And so this is even better because we're getting it from, we all do it, right? But my point is that this is what I was saying. You have to be on call for your thoughts while you're mastering the mind, right? And going, oh my gosh, am I mastering? Is there a boulder here? Yes. Is it physical pain? Is it emotional pain? Anything that's irritating you or frustrating, you've got to call bullshit. Go, no, unacceptable. No. So maybe that's just your word is no, unacceptable. I call BS. No, unacceptable. I call, because the second you get lost in it, it takes you back to the third dimensional realm and you're not able to manifest on the 3D. It's an illusion. It's made up. You have to get to the 5D and above. So you're going to have to be so diligent on what you're thinking all the time.
Okay.
Even, you know how we self-critique and self-criticize and I'm not enough and I didn't do a good job and I feel guilty and all that, you got to be on all of it.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna remove you from the call here, Jill. Of course, I'm having a hard time pulling her back. Okay. Whoops. All right, so we're going to, sorry about that. Okay. All right, guys. So does that make sense where we're at here? The reason I bring this all up is because if you, someone else was just saying on here, when I meditate, lately I feel lightheaded, nauseous, I feel off for hours. It's because you're literally jumping over the boulder, okay, in the fifth dimension, or the fourth dimension on the bridge, and you're going into five, and then you're jumping over, and your thoughts are like, wait a minute, I don't understand. You want me here or you want me here? And I'm trying to get that flow open, the spine open, the energy open. If that makes any sense to you guys, that's what I'm trying to get to you to happen. Okay. And that's where I'm trying to get you guys to open your mindset to. It has nothing to do with right or wrong, good or bad. You know, it's really a matter of your reality of what you want from this point forward. So let's just look at someone saying, why is the financial system crash feel like things are getting worse, not better? See, we're seeing it, the illusion that someone else is seeing. Remember last week, I said, don't be scared if someone or something powerful, intense, possibly a scary event may appear to get you to see what you've been missing. And as I said, astrologers have been seeing this shift in money and reality and change for a very long time. And it is not to hurt us, but to allow us to choose a new path. And this blockage is the last piece, not to, it's no longer going to be about dictatorship by external controllers, but what you choose to set your dial on in your mind, right? It's all an illusion, and you can design it any way you choose. Nothing has lasted longer than 8 weeks, and I've shared that with all of you. The bank that crashed, let's connect the dots tonight. The banks that crashed, the big one, the big bank that crashed is a tech bank, and several of them are tech banks, but the big one was a technology bank. And so even here's Uranus ruling money, Uranus rules technology. Even money and the banks match the planet, saying we will end the old way and rebuild a better way with money and technology, death and regeneration. So if tech banks are playing woke agendas, that we only do this and we're not that, and you have to be good and you have to be bad and you're this and you're that, and it's not for all people, all inclusive, Aquarian, humanitarian, right? For all the people, you have to understand it's just enough for the planets to say, oh, no, that's not loving and kind and communal, right? So if you don't have something even more perfect than that of a bank crashing, Uranus, technology, a technology bank, and the technology of sharing their information and money to match the planetary alignments right now, I don't know what could make it more clear for you. And it's very hard because a lot of people want this to be like some just soft and gentle unicorn fairy, transition. You got to fight for this, which means you got to fight for every thought in every moment of every second, saying, this is how I want my life to be. It's what I want my house to look like. It's what my family to look like. It's what I want my organs to look like. It's what I want my health to look like. It's what my love life to look like. It's what I want my travel to look like. All of it. And that's the reality of the 3D. It will mold and it will shift and it will transform into the reality of what you want on the 5D, which is the manifesting aspect. And it will shift and flow right through into it every time. And you'll have fast manifestation. The reason you're not manifesting quickly is maybe you want to on certain things is because you have some sort of boulder sitting on that bridge. in your thoughts that you don't realize you're repeating. Jill was really kind to share with us that's what she's repeating. Like, oh, I guess I do repeat some of this frustration and guilt and self-sacrifice. And when you start adding it up, it's a lot. Anyone's back would go out carrying all that kind of emotional weight. So we're not paying attention. Does that make sense, my friends? How do we figure out what we aren't aware of? You are aware of it. You're aware of it when you're frustrated or you're not, you're not in the happy mode or something is not going the way you want. Pay attention, because it's physically your body will tell you pain, sadness, crying, right? When we're in pain or when we're sad or when we're crying or whatever. I was frustrated about something today. I was telling my husband about it. I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it so I can hear it, so I can see the boulder. I will remove this. So just saying it, thinking it, that's what I'm saying. Say it to yourself. You have to talk to yourself and make a plan of how you're going to shift this. So you're not staying in the loop. You're repeating it and going up the stairs. Okay. All right, my friends, I want to be very clear so a lot of you don't get confused. I am making some changes to TruthTribe. I'm trying to simplify, and it's for me. So if you'll help with me and you'll stick with me a little bit, I'm simplifying my life a little bit. I've been just a little bit overloaded like her. And so my team agreed we're going to start streamlining things. And so TruthTribe is currently on the website free. If you signed up recently, you're going to get an email canceling your membership, but still giving you access to live calls. So don't think, don't turn me off, because I've had a couple calls already saying you turned me off. I didn't turn you off. I just stopped the fee. Okay. So TruthTribe will be pulled off and free. If you're already a private coaching or a Warrior Pass member, nothing changes. The only options you have with me from now on will be Warrior Pass and or private coaching or the group coaching that's coming for Consciousness Creator, which is live right now. We're throwing out a membership, by the way, a promotion in the next 2 weeks. So if you want to get in Conscious Creator, there are only 20 spots. And once that promo goes out, there will be no extra spot. So if you want one, go grab it before I run the promo. Number 2, I'm going to load someone asked about the picture on frequency that I loaded up earlier. So I will post that into the TruthTribe landing your dashboards, as well as I'll post it into the IDI Club. So you guys can go click on it and save it and download it. So you can kind of break down the frequency mastery and understand that you're mastering your mind right now. Okay. And then those of you who asked for podcast version, so you could just listen to replays, you will have to be a Warrior Pass member from this point forward to listen to the replay. Those of you who want to just listen and be here live with me on every Monday night, feel free to show up, because TruthTribe will be an open access. You just won't be able to get replay unless you do Warrior Pass. We're just cleaning up the system. Okay. That's number 2. And then last but not least, in the IDI Club, if you're in there, again, I can see you. Don't worry about trying to find links and all that, because it's all there on the side. All the things you've been trying to access, they're quick links. So you just click on it and you're there. All the replay, the podcast, the replay of YouTube, or any of the content I'm dropping in on these calls from now on. Okay. Again, it's just like a Facebook, but better. So feel free to reach out with any questions. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I know some of this is hard mind warping, but I'm trying to give you science and spirit so you can visually see it, so you can move up. That's where we're going. Don't look back and do not be afraid. I promise things are going to improve. Okay. Even if they look scary, do not worry. It's going to keep going. I love you all. Brightest blessings. Have a good night. I'll see you next week.